Now the moment we've been waiting for, round 3, heat number 5, featuring 2 of the best in the world. John Florence from Hawaii taking on last year's world champ Gabriel Medina.
Well, you're doing your job well, and we can't wait to watch you straight to round 4. This matchup is insane. Go for it, boys.
Thanks a lot, Rosie. We'll get started with Gabriel Medina controlling the opening wave of this matchup, and he will find a way to make it out. Full roundhouse cutback to finish.
Let's have a look. Medina, first wave, as he likes to do. How's the way he slowed himself down there and then fought his way through that inside bit. Now the judges are going to keep this relatively low. Why? Because it's these two guys. You know, the scale that they've had all day, I think that is out the window. This wave's going to set the pace for the rest of the heat. They know that there's going to be fireworks, so they've got to keep the scale relatively low on this opening wave, because great things are going to happen. Medina making it clear that he's going to capitalize.
Watching this heat unfold is exciting to see the tube effort for Medina. This is actually his second wave that he caught during that last replay. See him just get a rip off the top. So 2 quick waves coming in for Medina.
Italo playing that really patient game, waiting for the bombs. 3.33 for Gabriel Medina's opening wave.
Towards you know, the back end of this heat, if he needs a score, he'll go for something gigantic. He'll treat it like a final.
Right.
3.33 and a 4.67. Here comes wave number 3 from Medina. Stances forward high so he can get a lot of speed. He was ultra deep, and that one is not going to let him out.
Yeah. Just staying busy, you know, trying to apply a little bit of pressure to John there. John letting that second one go. Playing the very patient game. In a hypothetical situation, John and Medina last year out here, oh, that would have been a great heat to watch as well. Let's have a look at Medina racing through that section. Gets stuck on the whitewater ball, gets that foam ball there, just swallows him up. Had he come up and over that, I think he might have made that. So Medina making his intentions quite clear that he's going to get off to a quick start. He's got to make it count though. Here he goes. It's going to be a late drop, Joe.
John Florence takes off, slides right in, nice and deep. The barrel is clamping shut, and Florence doesn't make it. One spot above Medina. Here comes Gabe now. Big takeoff, plenty of room, a stand-up barrel. He gets blown out. Medina taking all the momentum of this start, heat number 5.
Yeah, John just pulling the trigger a little bit too early right there. Utilizing priority on a closeout, leaving Medina out the back for what should have been John's wave. Nice drop there, drives up into the barrel, comes out nice and clean. So Medina takes the early advantage right here. Look at that, standing nice and tall, trims high to come out untouched. And the part I love about Chobu, those flyaway kickouts. On
the next wave, pulls it nicely into the barrel. He'll come out. Highline wrap. And still looking for maybe another section. He's running out of water, but he's still committed. Throwing the backside air reverse on dry reef. And he'll have to sit down for him to paddle back out. He'll look to see Medina take off late. He's looking to control that takeoff. Fins were loose. And last year's world champ goes down.
Look at John's wave here. Late drop, slides in sideways. Perfect technique there from John Florence. Comes out. Backside gouge. He wants more on this. He knows he's got to capitalize on every opportunity. Just goes for a little backside revo at the end here. Doesn't quite pull that off. So John Florence back in the heat. Finally gets a score on the board. Like that side slip. Beautiful technique there from John. I don't think there's anyone better really on the planet that does that. Kelly maybe. John, one of the best. Is he going to use it?
He will glide in. Last year's world champ, big bottom turn, slams on the brakes with a slash into the pocket. He'll come out, making it look so fun and playful. Medina knows what he's up against. A guy who's looked at to set the bar out here on all the free surf sessions, and he's looking so comfortable and improving on his lead.
Too comfortable. I mean, that was, he surfed that wave like a little beach break. Let's have a look here. A little drop right there, comes off the bottom, jams it under the lip. Hits the brake, slides out of that barrel. Perfect positioning and timing, looking to improve on a 4, 6, 7. Watch this turn right here, jams it nice and tight under the lip. Just using that instinct. Knows exactly where he is at all times here. In such control of his body. His board comes flying out of the barrel. So nice little wave there for Medina. It's going to improve his situation.
A 6.57 for Medina, extending his total out front. Well, now, Strider, we're seeing Gabriel Medina take off. Setting this one up deep. He's winding up for a punt. Just a slow motion reverse off the top. Frontside float. Deep off the bottom. Big crack off the top for Medina. Jams it off the lip again. Going to turns.
Interesting
Incredible
situation right here.
Tape, this is that big first turn.
You can tell he was looking for something like this. Bang, throws it up. Perfect air reverse there, comes around the section, bangs it off the top again. Watch this gouge right here. Big hooking maneuver. 4 solid turns on a wave and chopu, as opposed to the barrel. Where is that going to fit in? Look at this view from the drone. Perfect right there from Medina. The judges are really going to have to think about how this is going to fit in to what's been going on out there all day.
He wasn't sitting quietly. He just keep demoing the field. John now needs a comeback roll. Slides into the barrel. Wave spins. He times it perfectly. Nails it off the lip. A huge backhand jam. Looking for a 7.88. Judge is still working out how to score the turn performance wave of Medina on the wave before. A fair answer back pots from Florence on that backhand too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a 7.77 is John's best wave. Slides into the barrel there, up and over the foam ball. Bonus section at the end. Comes out nice and clean, and then hacks it off the top at the end there. I think that's John's best wave right now. Let's have a look at the drone angle. See that reef right there as John comes flying out, and then hooks into a beautiful turn at the end. A 6.60 for Gabriel Medina. Let's have a look at the water angle. No one sits in the barrel better than John. Look at that, comes out nice and clean and capitalizes with a big snap at the end of that one. 6.6.
A 9.57 for John Florence. Welcome back to the Billabong Pro Tahiti. You're watching John Florence finish another backside tube, slides his way out, cracks the finishing move right on the reef. We'll give you that whole rerun in just a moment.
Back with some good scores. Now John takes over the reins, drives through this barrel there, nice and deep, comes out sliding sideways, and then finishes off with a beautiful lip line floater. So John starting to get that groove, finding that rhythm, and finding those beautiful barrels there. Comes out sideways. This is going to be another big score for John. 7.77. You think Peter King's getting the shot right there? As he comes sliding out sideways. So John Florence, and then as he does, finishes off with class. Stop being silly. Stick to surfing heats and win a world title. 9.07. Medina having a look at that one. Lets it go. John takes off.
Once again, Florence locks in, late takeoff, and putting on a backside tube clinic until that foam ball took him down. But back-to-back 9-point rides, his high 9 and 9.57. Florence is on fire right now. He'll just roll in, late takeoff, extremely late. That way we'll spit without him. So Florence feeling a little bit of relief after getting an 18.64 combined total. Medina needs an answer back. He'll fade the takeoff, puts himself ultra deep. He'll come out perfectly in front of John and look to regain priority.
Takes off late, drives into that section. Really deep, comes flying out, sees John and reacts. See Medina sliding into that there, pumping, nice and clean. Comes out untouched. See how he takes off almost going right, Joe, and then slides in nice and perfect. Driving through that section, pops out the end.
Medina's not in position for this one, so John will take off on the West Bowl. Wide open pit, and the Hawaiian easily makes it. Comes around the corner, blows the fins off the top for a reverse. Almost an impossible landing right on the reef. Right now, passing the 8-minute mark. Medina will lock in, perfectly pulling in, right on the takeoff. He's still deep in this thing, needs to come out high. Medina makes it.
So we're still waiting for 2 scores. The judges owe us 3 scores, 1 from John, 2 from Medina. You can hear the crowd. Medina's fired up. As John makes his way back out in the lineup, he had to sit and watch that one.
Oh, that was heavy. Medina already out the back after the wave before. 2 numbers to drop that are very important to the outcome of this matchup. John made a wave under priority, but he needs a better 9.07. Here we go.
All right. Stalls on the takeoff. Now he hits the gas. Racing through that section. It closes out on him. Medina comes flying out of the end. Hand in the air. The first claim so far of this heat. That meant a lot to him. Watch John paddling out, having a look at this. Medina driving through that section. Hits the brakes again. Now he goes the gas. And comes out the end of that one. Oh my goodness. So Gabriel Medina, 2 scores yet to be locked in for him. And another shot looking straight into the barrel. Now he pumps. Sitting nice and high on that and comes flying out of the end. Oh my.
Strider was in the water to see that last exchange. How you feeling, Strider?
I mean, are you kidding me? This is probably the best.
There it is, a 9.73. Medina into the lead.
Medina just getting the message now from the tower.
How many surfers? Here we go. Medina's taking this one.
Use this one. This could be his last wave. Nice and deep. A lot of speed. The wave spits twice. But no exit. That'll give John some space. Needs a 9.44 here. A little tight tube ride. He has to stay high. And that's going to take out John Florence as he goes down. Gabriel Medina takes his 3rd win off John in his career to move on into round 4. The Billabong Pro Tahiti continues right after this.